And this non sed etiam, but also etiam, means quintus quoque. Here you have a little hint there. Marcus, quid inest in sacco Siri? Marcus asked, what is in the sack of Cyrus? This being the genitive form, Siri. Julius, in sacco eius pira insunt. Julius answers, in his sack there are pears, pira, pears. One is a pirum, two pira, pirum, pira. So it is a neuter noun, same with malum. Aperi sacum Sire. He's commanding Cyrus to open the sack. Open the sack, Cyrus. Videte, pueri. Look, boys. Hic saccus plenus pirorum est. This sack is full of pears. Ecce pirum tuum, Marce, et pirum tuum, Quinte. Behold your pear, Marcus, and your pear, Quintus. Julius, Marco et Quinto pira dat. Julius gives pears, more than one, to Marcus and Quintus. Julius pueris magna pira dat. Julius gives gives magna pira, gives large pears to the boys, pueris. So when he gave it to them individually, the ending was O, but giving the pears to more than one person, the ending is is. And we'll go over where those fall in the charts later. Pueri qui jam non solum mala, sed etiam pira habent, laeti sunt. The boys, and then we have our commas and our qui, so we can kind of ignore this. That's not part of the main sentence, nor is that. The boys are laeti, happy. There's more than one of them, which is why we have the plural ending. The boys are happy. And what else about the boys? Qui jam non solum mala, sed etiam pira habent. Who now not only apples, but also pears have. The boys have not only apples, but pears. And so they're happy. Servi autem neque mala neque pira habent. The slaves, however, have neither apples nor pears. That's just the way it is. Neque Cyrus neque Leander malum habet. Neither Cyrus nor Leander has an apple. Quintus. Ciro malum da pater. Quintus, speaking up for the slaves, says to his father, give Cyrus an apple, father. Julius Cirum ad se vocat, et ei magnum malum dat. So Julius, he's our subject, gives. Julius calls. The first thing he does is calls. I forgot the et here. So Julius calls Cyrus to himself. This meaning the subject self, which is Julius. Julius calls Cyrus, not Syra, to himself. And ei magnum malum dat. And he's going to give a large apple, And here we get the pronoun form of the dative. So this is to him. So Julius calls Cyrus to himself, meaning to Julius, and gives to him, meaning Cyrus, a large apple. Dominos servo malum dat. The master gives an apple to the slave. And why don't we just take a pause here and go over indirect object and the dative case. So Julius, Marco malum dat. Julius, it was right here, he's giving an apple to Marcus, who is saying thank you. And what he's giving, the apple, is of course in the accusative case, malum. But the person that he's giving it to, we put that in what we call the dative case. One of the first things you will see in the dative case are indirect objects. Whenever you're giving a thing to someone, the person you're giving it to is in the dative case. And we'll see that O is the ending. O with a macron is the ending for the dative. Singular, masculine. What else have we seen? If Julius gives a pear to Julia, which he does later in this thing, here's Julius giving a pear to Julia. Julia is in the dative case, and we see that for the feminine ending, it's A with a macron, just the same as the ablative ending. One thing to keep in mind is that you must have a direct object before you can have an indirect object. So let's go back here. So the master is in the nominative. He's giving an accusative apple to the servant, and this is our new case that we're learning in this chapter called the dative. And the situation we're learning it in is as an indirect object. Marcos. Leandro quoque malum da pater. Marcus speaks up for Leander, and he says, Father, give an apple to Leander also. And then Leandro, this is in the dative case. Julius Leandrom ad se vocat, et ei malum dat. Julius calls Leander to himself. Here, Leander is in the accusative because that's who or what Julius is calling. He's calling Leander to himself, and the se is referring to Julius. Et ei malum dat, and gives to him an apple. So ei is the pronoun form of the dative, and we'll look at that later in the chart. Iam non solum Cyrus sed etiam Leander malum habet. Now, not only Cyrus, but also Leander have an apple. Has an apple. Not only, but also has. Et Cyrus et Leander mala habent. Both Cyrus and Leander have apples. Notice that when we say not only, but also, our verb is singular. When we use both Cyrus and Leander, we're talking about more than one thing, and our verb is in the plural, habent versus habet. Sed neque Cyrus neque Leander purum habet, But neither Cyrus nor Leander has a pair. Again, singular. Quintus. Servis pira quoque da pater. Quintus, always looking out for the slaves, demands that his father give pairs to the slaves also. Quintus, give pairs to the slaves also, father. Julius, iis piradat. Julius gives, iis is pronoun, form. This is the pronoun. Ei was singular. Is, or it could be eis, is the plural pronoun. Pronoun. Dative. Dative, eis, and ei. So, Julius gives pairs to them, more than one. Iam servi non solam mala sed etiam pira habent. Now the slaves have not only apples but also pears. The servi et mala et pira habent. The slaves have both apples and pears. And let me see. I think I'm going to stop there, and I'll go on to the rest in another video.